So we have some league-wide news, and we have some news for the Eagles. I also have my thoughts on the game that recently happened. I didn't want to overreact in the moment. That's why post games, or however, win or lose, I'll always wait a little bit. And also so that I can also, think more and put more effort into the content as well. So, first and foremost, league-wide news: Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams reunite on the New York Jets. Pretty cool to see as a general football fan. I bleed green from the Philadelphia Eagles, don't get me wrong. But I mean, if good football happens, if something pretty freaking cool happens, heck yeah, that's pretty wholesome. It's pretty cool to see. Amari Cooper to the Bills. I don't really have any emotion on that or however, because, to my knowledge, they never played together before. But, yeah, in terms of our big move, hopefully Howie can stop slacking and, help us out and things of that nature. So, I have a little bit more on that later to prove that and to kind of reinforce it, because I'm not just, talking out my ass. I'm coming with receipts, so, we'll get into that. So, in terms of Eagles news specifically, Slay's knee injury is considered day-to-day, not considered anything overly serious. Goddard and Jordan Mailata both have hamstring injuries. Mailata was placed on the IR, so he's probably going to miss at least 4 games. And Dallas Goedert, I don't think he was placed on the IR, but I know for sure he's probably going to miss the game versus the Giants. That's just Goddard being Goddard. He's had injury concerns, and those were valid, and this is why. 21-day practice window is open for Albert O. I know he's coming back from an abdomen injury, so that's why he was originally placed on the IR. So, wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully, he can be a good tight end 3, block a little bit on the side, hopefully. Now, in terms of versus the Giants, since Goddard and Mailata, are out, you know what I'm saying? I think we can all agree, that it is a big game for us to win, especially, needing to build momentum, the offense needing to click and things of that nature. So, obviously, being an Eagles fan, I hope, we blow them out the water, 30 plus to like 3 or whatever, hopefully. Because, yeah, that definitely a big game for sure. And credit to the Giants, in terms of wins, the wins may not be there, but in terms of their attitude on the field, they play tough, they play pretty sharp except for the quarterback play. Definitely have potential. Saquon Barkley, he's not expecting to be booed. He says rivalry was there before him, it's going to be there after him. But that, he's not looking at it from like an egotistical kind of way. That just speaks to his professionalism and things of that nature. Whatchamacallit, but Giants offensive tackle Andrew Thomas expected to be out for the season with Lisfranc surgery. Speaking of, the Giants and all that, Mekhi Becton, he says the MetLife field is shitty and whatnot or however, and that either the Giants are the little brothers to the Jets or the Jets are the little brothers to the Giants or something like that. But, yeah, so he definitely sounds motivated, however, to come into this matchup and kick some butt for sure. So in my opinion, in terms of takeaways from the game or however, we're going to get into that. Obviously, the Eagles barely beat the Browns, only by 4 points. And considering A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert for the majority of the game. Even then, Calcaterra, he was stepping up and things of that nature. Saquon Barkley. I think, despite Nick Sirianni initially getting in the way, I think Jalen's arm itself won the game. Multiple clutch throws accurately to Calcaterra. AJ obviously at the end, couple to Smitty. That one to Jahan Dotson, I think it was like 3rd and long, and it ended up being like a 10-yard pass or however the case. So, stupid freaking flies. I hate them. But yeah, for the most part, it looked to be Kellen Moore's like 60-40, 60, yes, like 70-30, 60-40, something like that. But yeah, it just looked like, Nick had his hands on it, and that was, when it was getting stagnant and things of that nature. Like anytime they had momentum, it looked completely different than what we've seen. And then anytime they lose momentum, it looks like Nick Sirianni just gets in the way. and he's like, "Oh, my turn," and then it backfires. It looks like Kellen Moore is getting more control gradually. I've seen multiple clips of him going under center and things of that nature. I'll try to see if I can find them or however, but yeah, Jalen Hurts himself, he was 16 for 25, 264 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 0 turnovers, a quarterback rating of 126.1, only sacked 1 time. And again, proof that he was like getting the ball out to multiple people. Calcaterra, 4 receptions, 67 yards. Again, multiple good reads and good passes to him. AJ, 6 receptions, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. He's obviously AJ Brown. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from AJ. But, it's not like, he had a horrible guy passing him the ball. He was getting pretty darn good, catchable. But anyways, Devontae Smith, 3 receptions, 64 yards and a touchdown. Jahan Dotson, 1 reception for 10 yards. Again, that was a pretty clutch little 10-yarder, because we needed to get down the field. Or at least that first down. Sirianni taunts the fans after barely winning versus the Browns. Allegedly, it was about running or however, like, run the ball, fire Sirianni, or however. And then allegedly, he was like, give me a second, or however, like during the game and after like barely surviving or however, because he kept getting in the way. I told you, 18 rushes for 47 yards. And, those yards didn't look too meaningful. I seen every single snap. I seen every single play. AJ, when he caught the ball, it looked pretty meaningful, or however the case. Smitty, when he was targeted, or when they made plays for him. And then same, and then obviously even Jahan Dotson, you know what I'm saying? In terms of when they were targeted or however, whether it be for a run play or whatever, and I believe that's purely coaching, so. Defensively, I have a hot take of the day, actually. DeJean's a better pass rusher than Bryce Huff. $17 million. You know what I'm saying? And he's supposed to be the 3-down guy and supposed to be, that guy, in terms of a pass rusher, and he's not. You know what I'm saying? So, within 5 games, he's played 5 games for the Philadelphia Eagles so far. He has just as many sacks as Cooper DeJean, who is, first of all, a rookie. Second, plays nickel corner. Because I don't want to sound nothing, make it sound nothing bad or however the case. But yeah, he plays nickel. And he's a rookie, and he just came off a hamstring, and he just came off a tib-fib injury. And all pretty recent time. And he's 5'11", not even 200 pounds? And he's already a better pass rusher than Bryce Huff. It's only like his first game starting. Fair and square it was, statistically. Sure, he came punting or however, came like doing kick returns or however the case, but in terms of actually in his like actual position where he's supposed to do what he shines at the best, he showed up, and I'm not going to say he's the best pass rusher we have, no, but in terms of Huff versus him, I'll take DeJean at pass rush. I'll take him on the edge versus Huff. Huff is soft. Half a sack for Huff or however the case, and it took him 5 games to even get that. Cooper DeJean got that in his first game starting. Just saying. DeJean actually takes, advantage of not responsibilities, takes advantage of opportunities and things of that nature. Takes advantage of advantages. 1 tackle, 1 assist. Zach Bond, pretty consistent. 4 tackles, 4 assists. Pretty good game for him. Shizzy Gardner-Johnson, 4 tackles, 2 assists. It was an okay game for him. But for all the but for all the stuff he talks and all that, or however, expect more. Expect a pick 6, something. But no, overrated. So Brandon Graham, he's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? 4 tackles, 1 assist. Heck yeah. For him being 36, heck yeah. One of the best pass rushers we have, if not the best, in terms of consistency. He's the most consistent. I'll say that, fair and square. He's the most consistent pass rusher we have, fair and square. Maybe best. I'll say that 50-50. Because I haven't seen the rest of the season. So, but I'm just saying how it looks as of right now. Quinyon Mitchell, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Reed Blankenship, 1 tackle, 2 assists. Jordan Davis, 2 tackles, 1 assist. He did go through a snap cut or however the case, he didn't really play as much, and it was kind of like a noticeable difference, which is why I'm mentioning it. Jalen Carter, 1 tackle, 1 sack. Heck yeah, he just needs, more help from the outside. Josh Sweat, I mean, again, I'm pretty sure he restructured to make 10 to 13 million or however the case, and he's only had 2 sacks in 5 games. I mean, we'll get into that later. Nolan Smith, or however, absolute bust. Probably the only sack he'll get all year. Milton Williams, I think he's a 7th round steal. He has potential. He just needs help out there. That's what I think. Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, them two just need help out there. Everyone else is inconsistent, or however the case, or you can't expect too much from them. You can't expect too much from a 36-year-old that helped you win a Super Bowl. He's helping, he's doing good, or however, but you can't really hold him how you can, you can't hold him to the same standard you'd hold Huff. Is the point. But yeah, like I said, Huff should have done more. Half a sack, 1 tackle versus the worst O-line in the NFL. No game's easy. It's any given Sunday. I believe that. That's fair and square if people believe that or however. I believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's any given Sunday. Anybody can win any sort of game. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the very same time, there is levels of opportunity. There is degrees of difficulty. This probably would have been the least amount of degree of difficulty in terms of per play, because this is the worst O-line in the NFL. So absolutely disgusting as a player, absolute bum, bona fide scrub, the Kwame Brown rant, whatever Stephen A. Smith, rant you guys want to use or however, apply it to Bryce Huff. Absolute bum. If we get rid of him and Nick Sirianni, you got rid of nothing, so throw the festival right now, regardless if you win or not. That's where I'm at. Both of them are just bums, him and Sirianni. So that being said, I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Jalen finally had a good game versus a solid defense. No turnovers, nothing like that. DeJean. Definitely going to be... DeJean and Quinyon are both definitely going to be stars. You can just tell the eye test, Quinyon has the most forced incompletions. Sounds like pass breakups or however, so it sounds like he has the most PBUs. And then, DeJean had half a sack. He's playing really physical. I honestly think Quinyon, BG... and Bond, because obviously DeJean, he had one, strong, showing and whatnot or however, so he can build off it, show consistency, things of that nature. But as of right now, Quinyon, BG, and Bond, in my opinion, are the most consistent defensive players we have. I think at this point, you know what I'm saying, because essentially, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, and maybe somebody else or however the case that just needs a little bit more help or however, we definitely need a Khalil Mack, Trey Hendrickson, some guy that's good enough or however that the other guy has to game plan for, so that Milton Williams and all that, they don't have the pressure on them so much. Same thing with Josh Sweat or however the case. When we had Reddick, something. We seen something from those guys or however the case. 70 sacks, 75 sacks or something. Pretty sure Reddick was on the team. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, definitely need a Trey Hendrickson, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett type of guy. D-line needs heavy reinforcement. What we have right now isn't going to get anything done. One and done if we're even lucky, if we can even get to that point. Because a lot of people say it doesn't matter who you put on the team if the coach don't know what to do with it. That's fair. But guess what? This is something that's also really, really valid. You can have the greatest play of all time, but guess what? If you have absolute tomato cans and bums trying to execute it, guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the greatest play of all time. It doesn't matter if you can bribe the refs to let you play 20 people versus their 11, and they'll turn a blind eye for it. You have 20 people versus 11. It doesn't matter if those guys are that bad. You know what I'm saying? There you go. And if it really was that much coaching, if it really was. How come the rookies are doing good, showing strong sightings? You know what I'm saying? How come Zach Bond's having his best year? That's fair. That's completely fair to ask. How come 2 rookies who never played an NFL snap a day in their life, coming straight from college, And then some guy who's been given up on, or however the case may be, having pretty solid years. Quinion's having a pretty solid year. Top 5 corner in the NFC East. I have 2 hot takes of the day. Quinion Mitchell right now, based on what we've seen through 5 games, he is the best cornerback, CB, in the NFC East. That's what I've seen. That's what I'm seeing. The coverage, the physicality, the dog mentality. That's what I'm seeing. I'm sorry to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So if you put all that together, you know what I'm saying? They just need a little bit of help on the D-line. That's all we need, I feel like. Because if 3 guys or however the case that are questionable or however, and then even if you take those guys out of it, if it's really the scheme that bad, how come Milton Williams is showing out? The 7th round draft pick. How come he's figuring something out? That's valid. These are all, in my opinion, valid questions. You can comment down below or however the case may be. Comment down below. I'll respond. I'll heart it. I'll like, heck yeah, that's fair, or however the case may be. But yeah, overall, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, like I said, Jalen finally had a clean game. No turnovers, nothing like that. The defense, they showed up, a little bit when they needed to, or however the case, but definitely need a lot more, from the D-line specifically. The secondary, like I said, heck yeah. But, the secondary can only do that for so long, or however the case, the D-line needs to step up and do their job. No secondary is good enough to that they don't need a D-line. No secondary is, especially one this young and this undeveloped. I'm just saying, a lot of it could be scheme or however the case, but a lot of it could be stuff that we don't know or however the case. But all I can say is Quinion's doing his part, and they are playing 20 yards off. He's locking up. He's locking people up, and then whatchamacallit, I know it was just the Browns or however the case, but I mean, first game NFL. That there's been corners that absolutely bombed right away or however, but I mean, he was looking pretty solid. Cooper DeJean was looking pretty solid. But throughout 5 games, Quinion, best corner in the NFC East, like I said. So those are my 2 hot takes or however as well. Cooper DeJean, he's a better edge rusher. He's better at edge rushing, getting to the quarterback or however than Bryce Huff. But Bryce, the bum Huff, it's not too much of a surprise. So I don't even know if that's a hot take. And then secondly, I don't know if this is even considered a hot take or however, but Quinion Mitchell, he's the best cornerback, CB, in the NFC East. Based on what I've seen. That's what I've seen. Skill for skill. What I've seen. The pass breakups, the forced incompletions. Him being there. Him having that mentality. Him having that juice. Pause, no Diddy, just to be safe. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I try not to get too passionate or however the case, but at the same time, I bleed green from the Philadelphia Eagles. I plan on going to the Carolina Panthers game if you guys are going. Who knows, maybe we can tailgate or however the case. But yeah, comment down below what you guys think of the video, if it's entertaining or however, how can I improve. I'm always open to improvements, always open to criticism. I'm not by any means a know-it-all. I'm just a fan with an opinion. That being said, God bless. Philly out. Peace.